Hello there. You know those times when you're lying in bed? I think content creators themselves would probably be able to sympathise with this. I don't know. When you're lying in bed and you think, I could totally just film a video right now. I could just film a video. And then you fall asleep, realising that the idea you had in your head that you thought was going to be so awesome to film a video with will just be lost in the nether with everything else that people think or attempt to do just before they go to sleep. I decided for once, fuck it. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning or something at the minute. I was lying in bed like I could totally film a video right now. And this is me attempting to do that. As you can see, I am in bed. This is not staged. I don't know why I'd go through the effort to stage me being in bed just for some simple narrative reason. I don't know. I may not make much sense of them, and as I said, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but I felt I should film a video. That's what I should do in my time in a minute. And here we are. Filming. It's more of a rant video. I know I usually specify, that was not the right word. I usually do more role plays than I do other things. I figure this one be a bit, I don't want to say rant, because it's not a rant. I'm not ranting about anything. I'm just speaking about stuff. I'm soliloquizing, not a word. Monologuing. Soliloquizing, I'm not sure that's a word. About just stuff that's going on in my brain. That probably might not be the most relaxing thing for some people. If it's not, feel free to watch something else. Before I had the idea to make this video, I was watching ASMR requests, aesthetician, however you pronounce that, video, and it was great. I had a lovely, relaxing time. So pop on, watch that, or anything else of your choosing if you don't want to listen to me ramble about nothing important for a while. So that's my pre-warning. That's me, you know, when you watch a film, they have that thing from the FCC, I think it's the FCC, saying all that crap they need to say, and they're saying, the views and opinions expressed in this video, or whatever that is. That's my version of that, to tell you something you really didn't need to know. I'm just filing off common sense thoughts in a minute. As I said, it is 2 o'clock, and I am quite tired. Yeah, I couldn't really sleep. I think it's weird, I've gone into this cycle, kind of a paradoxical cycle, somewhat, of going, oh, I'm sleepy, I'll just watch an ASMR video, and realising this ASMR video is keeping me awake because I'm listening to it. And if I'd stopped watching the ASMR video, I'd have been asleep hours ago. So I don't think it's much for relaxation anymore. I don't want to say addiction. I'm not necessarily addicted, because I could stop any time, I swear. That's what they'll say. But so I don't really get that common sense of tingles myself. There's nothing I can be addicted to in that sense. What's ASMR is habit forming, they say. I don't know why I'm comparing ASMR to drugs. No, it's late. But where was I going with this? I've not got a clue. ASMR. Yeah, there we are. So I was watching some ASMR videos to try and make me go to sleep. Which kept me awake, which is a rather strange paradox, one I've been facing most nights, and I've heard other people as well talk about this problem, that they're having, their ASMR videos are having the exact opposite effect. It's like they're staying up to experience this sensation, which seems, it's an amusing sentiment, the idea that people spend so much time making these amazing, well-produced videos for people to go to sleep to, but they're so amazing and they're so well-produced, you just can't go to sleep. It's like you'd be insulting the effort that's gone into it. So you're like, I'm going to stay awake, I'm going to watch this, I can do it, I can do this. And then you end up more wired than you were when you started watching it, because you stayed awake to appreciate the values of the video, and I think that's incredible. I really do. I might be the only person that does this, I'm not sure. I think I've heard some other people express their opinions on this matter. Yeah. So as I was getting on, I was lying in bed. Sort of just, my mind wanders, as it does, 24 hours a day. I don't think there's any point my mind is completely focused on something. Yeah, and it was wandering, as it usually does, jumping between here and there. And I was thinking about narrative theory, because I'm really strange, I think. I'm not sure that's a normal thing to be in your head. And sort of the idea of stories and how stories progress and the transition between different stages of the story and how you tell it. And that got me thinking on to realism in narrative structure, and what makes something real when it comes to telling a story. And my mind was wondering about sort of stories that people often tell in videos or ways. I'm not talking about ASMR videos anymore, I just mean in general, and ways that sometimes you have to bend reality a little bit to get your point across for the genre of video you're making. And that got me on to thinking about something I did a while ago. I was really, again, for some reason, I don't know why narrative theories bored into my mind. I actually genuinely have no idea. Probably some deep onset psychological trauma I experienced one day when looking at a timeline. I genuinely have no idea. But I was doing some thinking into what makes narrative good and what makes narrative hilariously bad. And I found out there's one key component that makes narrative hilariously bad. And there's one genre of videos that always seems to have really, really... No, I don't want to say bad. There's no such thing as bad narrative. There is such a thing as bad narrative. But it's not necessarily bad, it's just... It's a genre of video that tries to portray realism as close as it can, whilst what it's portraying is one of the least realistic things. So it's kind of like trying to shove a triangle-shaped shape into the circle slot in the toy, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that made sense. And this genre is usually in high production, valued pornography films. Now, being a teenage boy myself, I should be up there saying, oh yeah, porn. Well, I honestly don't watch a lot of porn. Yeah, Danny, that's what they all say. Take as you will from that. But obviously I've seen a video or two in my time because I'm male. I don't want to... Let's not get into the reasons behind this. But a while ago, I genuinely thought this is actually quite hilarious. The storylines here are absolutely fucking hilarious. Like, this is comedy, and I understand some of them are written to be comedy because of that, the bridge in between realism and hyper-realistic sort of... Let's try and be as real as we can in this world we've created where everything revolves around hedonistic pleasure of putting stuff inside people. But it got me thinking on to sort of why that is, sort of saying what makes that so funny, because you get your storylines, like in real life. Say if someone was I'm trying to think of a random genre of pornography that does this really, really well. You get the videos that where it's almost pretend voyeurism, where it's the idea that that meets just someone random on the street, and then they're like, I'll give you this money if you do sexy things. And the person's like, yeah, okay. It's the idea that, and I'm sure I don't doubt that sometimes it's real and possible. Things happen. But the way it's portrayed in this sort of sense that anyone could just walk up to someone with a camera, hand them money, and they'll be like, yeah, fine. And then there's no point where forms are signed, or it's like British of me saying that you can't have porn here. No one signed any release forms on camera. How that's... But the idea that it can just happen, and that's a thing that happens. And people say, because I've heard a couple of people say that porn ruins expectations of reality, in that sense that people think sex is just readily available and everyone wants sex. But I don't think that's true. I don't think porn ruins any form of reality. I don't think it portrays anything in a bad sense, in the same way that when you go see a film about policemen and they're driving cars on walls and shooting bad guys in the head with revolvers from 500 miles away, people don't, well, I hope, people don't look at that and go, I want to be a policeman. Being a policeman sounds fun, you get to blow stuff up every day. In the same sense that when you watch pornography, you don't go, that's great, oh, that's exactly what sex is going to be like, those people are doing there, that's completely, it's all the same sort of thing, it's all just constructionalist ideas of people going, that'll look good on the screen, how about we do that? I don't think there's any merit in saying that it destroys expectations, because if you view it in the same way that you view any other thing that's on there for entertainment, it's not there to create like a path to follow. It is there for entertainment, be it hedonistic entertainment or just general looking at stuff. But I don't know, I've kind of gone on to a really random rant here. I'm really not sure why. I'm really not sure why, actually. There you go, there's my view on pornography. I'm not sure how that relates to ASMR in any way. There's another chat that I'm asked a lot recently by various different people if there are any links between ASMR and pornography, which seems an odd question, because those two things are completely, they're not. That's the thing. Are there any links between cars and dolphins? One's a tingly sensation. I'm talking about ASMR and pornography now, not cars and dolphins. One's a tingly sensation that makes you feel kind of nice, and the other one's material made for erotic stimulation. And it seems strange that a lot of people are making these connections, and I suppose to an untrained eye, the idea that someone's being fairly intimate with the camera, and people often confuse intimacy with eroticism, somewhat mistakenly, thinking, well, it's got to be porn. Well, obviously, as everyone watching this, I'm sure is well aware, they aren't anything like each other. You can combine them to make something, but separately they're not anything to do with each other whatsoever. I'm asked this question a fair bit by different people. It's always really interesting to hear people's opinions on the connection between those two, because everyone seems to have, because you've got your people that think that they should stay really far away as possible, and I understand that, obviously, because in a sense I understand that because the media is still learning about this, it's still a new thing to the media, so the representation's a bit skew as it is, and we don't want to confuse them anymore by them thinking it's some sort of fetish, and it's not, as we know. And on the other hand, I think if you've got two new concepts and you combine them, it can often create something new and something exciting, and there's always realms to explore, so I don't know. I'm not for a second implying I'm going to start making ASMR fetish porn videos, because I wouldn't even know where to start, and I don't think anyone would watch them. But yeah, that's not the only reason I'm not making ASMR porn videos, is because I don't think there'd be an audience. It's not really my thing. As I said, it is 2 o'clock in the morning, so I have rambled about a lot of shit, as you can very well tell. I just fancied making a video. Just lying in bed thinking I could make use of this time better. And I am running out of memory on my phone. So I'm going to wrap up this ramble, probably view this video back, sigh incessantly, and wondered why I talked about pornography, and then maybe delete it. If I don't, you're watching this. If so, hello. Yeah, so hope you'll have a lovely sleep. I'm going to go pass out on my pillow. See you around.